Hey, what's up, North County? I'm your host, Randy Doty, and today we are talking SLO Sheriff's Rodeo with Chief Deputy Nate Paul and brought a guest, Van Carrazza, with
Yeah.
Operation Surf. So I'm excited to hear the story about all this stuff. And Nate, thanks for coming in again. Thanks for being a part of what we're doing here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thanks for your service as well.
Oh, well,
You
thank you.
know, keep our county safe.
It's my pleasure, and it's the pleasure of the folks I work with at the sheriff's office.
So you got a big event coming up in, gosh, what? We're 10 days away. Is
About
that about
10
right?
days.
That.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
tell me about that.
So 2026 SLO Sheriff's Rodeo. It's our 5th year, and so consistent with earlier years, we just keep getting bigger. We've expanded this year, and we're looking forward to welcoming the community in starting Thursday. So it'll be next Thursday, May 7th, for the Sheriff's Rodeo Marketplace, which will be open to the public for free during our qualifying events, which also take place on the fairgrounds.
Oh, awesome. So this is 5 years. I mean, you are in that kind of that hump of the first 5 years, getting rid of all the stress and everything. Now you're kind of hopefully in that promised land, right?
Well, we're getting better at this. I can tell you, with every year we're getting better. Some stuff does get easier the more times you do it, and we definitely learn from every year. But I think that also comes from what we do for our full-time job, because just like a search warrant service or something that we do officially, we debrief afterwards and apply those lessons learned for the next year.
What kind of undertaking does it take to put on? I mean, this is a pretty big rodeo, Nate. I mean, not for nothing. I mean, you guys have really catapulted this whole rodeo production in a short amount of time, where it takes like NFR and PRCA. I mean, a lot of people in many years to put on a production like that.
Well, when we started out, we aimed high, and we wanted to offer a high production value both for our community to come and watch some top-notch rodeo athletes, but also for those contestants to make sure that they, one, have an appropriate venue to compete in, because there are really handy people that come to our rodeo and enter, and a lot of folks locally, a lot of folks regionally. You'll see some of the best cowboys and cowgirls in the region that'll come and compete here, so they have a good time and the community has a great time. And ultimately that's what it's about, is bringing this community together to celebrate our Western way of life and this community we live in, and law enforcement coming side by side as members of the community.
Nate, tell me what it means to you to be in this community, be a sheriff in this community, sheriff deputy in this community, and be able to put on this such a great program for the community members here.
It's a blast, it's an honor, and it's a lot of work. But being a deputy sheriff, I feel called to that line of work primarily. It was 24 years ago right now, basically, that I was in the police academy, and felt called to answer that call and do the job. To be able to take that line of work, which has been exceptionally rewarding and in a great way to both make a living and serve, but also then to expand it into something that I'm passionate about, which is the sport of rodeo and doing cowboy stuff. It's an amazing, it's a blessing every single day and every single year when we get to do this.
So starts Friday night, or actually starts Thursday with the marketplace. So tell me a little bit about. Well, first let's step into the bulls and the Friday night and the Saturday night. So what can fans expect, and how much does it cost to get in?
So Friday night we kick off the rodeo events with the Battle of the Bulls. So it'll be an open bull riding followed by a double concert, basically two Caseys, and that's so the bull riding starts. Gates open at 5. The bull riding starts at 6, and then following the bull riding, we'll have our local artist Casey Anglin, who will open up for Casey Donahue, who's coming out here from Texas to play on the main grandstand stage. So those tickets are $30 for adults, $15 for kids 6 to 12. And this is an important thing. Good Medicine Presents is the link from our website, slosheriffsrodeo.com. It is the only sanctioned ticket vendor. And we're getting a lot of word from the public that resellers have picked up our tickets
I
and
saw
have
that.
really boosted the price. You don't need to pay exceptionally high prices. We kept the prices very low because we want the community to come. So, hop online to our website or Good Medicine Presents and get your tickets at the price we intended them to be.
That's Friday night.
And that's Friday night.
Okay.
Yes.
And then Saturday.
So Saturday is our rodeo finals. Those qualifiers will take place earlier in the week, and I spoke of that like on Thursday. But Saturday night, 5 o'clock. Actually, the gates open at 2, and fans can enjoy the Sheriff's Rodeo Marketplace, food and beverage vendors. We have a kid zone with bounce houses and stuff for the kids to climb on. The Mutton Bustin' qualifier takes place in the covered arena at 2:30 p.m., and then the rodeo is at 5 in the main grandstand arena. So following the rodeo, we'll have Gunnar Latham will also be out here from Texas, and he'll play on the main grandstand stage.
And tickets are still $30?
So those tickets for Saturday we have 2 tiers of tickets. The community was really interested in being able to reserve a seat, so we offer premium reserve seating for $25 a ticket. And general admission is still $10 a ticket with kids
nice.
free.
So Friday night, $30 includes 2 concerts,
Right.
And bulls only.
And bulls.
Bulls only, which I might add, some of the best bull riders. I mean, these guys are on the Velocity tours. These guys are in the PBR. These guys are not just, rednecks from coming, off the local ranches. These are top-notch cowboys.
Yeah, it'll be top-notch bull riders will be here, and they'll stick around for Saturday too. So if you like bull riding, and a lot of people like bull riding, you can get a double dose of bull riding Friday and Saturday.
So tell me about the marketplace. So I know this is new this year. This is something that you guys have been talking about for quite some time in order to bring, a marketplace to the Sheriff Rodeo.
Well, some of the feedback we got was we need more shopping. You need more stuff to do before the rodeo. And it was a goal that we were able to achieve this year. We will have the rodeo marketplace. So that is 2 commercial buildings just outside of the main grandstand arena will be full of Western vendors, as well as outside areas in and around those buildings and the main entrance to the event center. So we're talking all kinds of, it's a curated list of vendors that we've put together to offer, interesting and fun shopping for our guests and fans, Western wear, hats, tack, stuff like that our clientele will be interested in checking out. It also is an opportunity that we can welcome in members of the community, other nonprofits and stuff who will have a booth, et cetera, to be able to reach out to the community, through that marketplace and the people that we bring in.
And you guys have a new nonprofit yourself this year, right?
We do. So we formed the Sheriff's Rodeo Foundation, and previously we'd had the support of the Sheriff's Advisory Foundation, which has existed for quite some time and supports SLO County law enforcement agencies. They gave us our start, and we were super appreciative of that because operating under their nonprofit umbrella helped us, get our sea legs. It was time to form our own foundation to take some of the burden off them and allow us to be more efficient in how we, put this thing on. So during the off season, we formed the Sheriff's Rodeo Foundation, and that is complete and done. We're our own nonprofit.
Wow, congratulations.
And so from now, into the future, this rodeo and everything we do will be produced by the Sheriff's Rodeo Foundation, which exists to support frontline workers, all frontline workers, basically to provide training and equipment and support.
Awesome. Well, Nate, tell me who's this gentleman that you brought with you here?
Well, frontline workers includes members of our military. And one of the ways that, we can support them is also supporting them after their service. So we're proud and happy to welcome Operation Surf to the rodeo marketplace outside so that members of the community who are prior military and service can understand what they do and get an opportunity to learn more about them.
Awesome. Well, Van, thanks for coming on, man.
It's an honor to be here.
It's an interesting story.
I missed my hat.
Yeah, we'll get you, cowboy.
Right? You have to get one of the official resist dolls, right, Nate?
Yeah.
So, Van, tell me a little bit about Operation Surf. I know you have a big story that led you up to starting this.
Yeah. Well, it's funny sitting next to a sheriff because my whole journey about creating Operation Surf was from my last arrest in 2001 or 2002. And when I had 5 years being clean and sober, I realized that my part of the journey to staying on the right path was to be of service to other people, and so as I put out that energy out there, I was given a call to say, hey, can you help us take a group of warriors in transition from the Brooke Army Medical Center surfing? And I said yes, and it's just led up to today, so it's about 19 years later. So when you talked about the 5 years of like going through it and learning and doing your after actions and figuring out like we need to do this, and that's kind of where we've been able to get to. So we're not only just serving our local veterans, I really want to put out a shot for that. We also do programs for our whole nation, and we're now starting to work with our active duty special operation forces and their spouses. So we do a full gamut, to share the ocean and to bring them here to the Central Coast and bring them the peace and serenity that the coastline can give them.
So you started off being a professional surfer, big wave surfer, running that addiction. I mean, what was that experience like?
Well, I was trying to seek who I thought I needed to be. I wanted to travel the world and surf the best waves, and and I was just this SLO County boy that there's really no industry around here, and so along with seeking this goal, I loved a lifestyle that was really dangerous, and not just big waves. It was the party life, and so luckily I was arrested and started this whole journey. But the big waves is, it's that the biggest rush. And even talking with the military guys, it's like doing something that you almost don't make, but you make is the biggest rush. And that's kind of what big wave surfing is. It's like you go after this big thing, you trust your ability, and you go out and you attack it to the best of you can, and then you pull it off, and that is the adrenaline that keeps you coming back, and then not, you always don't make it, but we pull it off, and so I'm gonna go do it again, and it's that adrenaline seeking, repetitive, near-death experience. That's what big wave surfing is. It's so, it's so exhilarating.
So this addiction, the waves, then you mentioned drugs and alcohol. I mean, it was all kind of part of the same circle.
Yeah. Well, the most important thing I really want to talk about, the drugs and alcohol, is recovery. And so what I realized is my mentality through my pride and ego was one of the biggest obstacle that I had to overcome, which was that humility that I'm doing something wrong, And so through the time of doing these programs, I realized that the pride and ego that a lot of us have actually allows us to achieve a lot of things, but it also puts us in some of the darkest corners because we're not able to, let somebody know that we're suffering or we're challenged with something, and we have that fear-based, perception of what you might think of me if I actually tell you how I feel. And so, Operation Surf is just not surfing. It's a relationship connection building in a community where we all share this type of vulnerability, and it's really a platform with the ocean. Is because the ocean will dominate anybody if you don't learn to flow with its energy, and it's a kind of like that understanding of that powerlessness. So surfing, community, exercise, Mother Nature, and fun. You put all those things together, and that's what Operation Surf does right here in the Central Coast.
How did you come out of that dark area and start this Operation Surf? What was the transition? What was the mindset that you just wanted to help give back, and you just started this program full bore?
Well, I guess it was being broken. It's just like I was at Van, what are you doing? You have so much potential. And I'm like, I was hiding behind, living a double life. And I realized that, I need to be doing better in my life, and so I made that decision, which required faith and courage, to move forward. And I made that, that decision through the court systems, so I'll give a shout out for Prop 36 and drug court, is because that's what got me on this process to actually, realize that once I got off the drugs and alcohol, and I started living a better life, surrounding myself with people on the same journey that understood me, then I was able to, start this process of helping our military. But it was through the ocean, because that's what actually saved my life when I really thought about it,
Van, was the military your focus, or did you start with kids, or was it like a kids camp? I mean,
well, funny that you asked that, is because when I started it, it was for at-risk and underserved youth, because that was my background, and it redirected my life enough. Well, it kept me in line enough, not going so far out there, that when it came time to come back, I wasn't so far off that it was possible. And the ocean, that love for the ocean, really kept me. I can't say I did not make the poor decisions I made, but as I was making those poor decisions, I was reflecting, if I get caught for this, I'll go to jail and I won't be able to continue to do it. And so that's when the psychologist, psychiatrist, is saying, yeah, you know how powerful that is? And so, because the draw of the ocean, it takes 100% focus of your mind. And so once you get in the ocean, you're not thinking about anything else. And so whatever is on land, when you go in the water, you're not thinking about it. And so that's that therapeutic thing, that what they call surf therapy, is because once you go in the water, you're not thinking about anything else, you know. And so at Operation Surf, we provide professional surf instructors to provide the individuals to get the focus that they need, you know, to accomplish what goals in front of them. And then we repeat that for day after day, and then for our local program for 3 months, you know. And they learn and build a community, which is, you know, building a tool for continual care. Because, you know, in anything is just like, if you just give them an experience, it's not really the answer. What is it's the experience, but the willingness and the self-efficacy and the willingness to continue the journey of wellness, whatever that means. You know, for me, it was God and sobriety and helping other people. And that's what leads me to go do this. And I can't do it alone. And I'm telling you, like, you know, this opportunity to be at the rodeo is to tell more people so we can build relationships, you know, because obviously we all need support. We can't do this alone. But it's really, who are we and what really does exist here in the Central Coast, you know, and that's what we get to do together is, you know, have a platform, which we're so grateful to be there to let people know that we're not just serving our veterans, our wounded veterans, but we're also serving our active duty that are continuing that high intensity and that go, so they can be better at their job when they go back. But more importantly is we're including the spouses, so the household is better, so they can be better. So it's an understanding of, like, my whole journey is what we do is because I understand when I'm okay with my wife and the house is good, I do a lot better out there what I'm supposed to do, you know. But when I can communicate openly with my wife about the struggles as we do that, and, you know, at the dinner table, you know, we're able to get more aligned and we're able to work together as a unit. And I'm not hiding anything from her, and our relationship is just so much better based on some of the stuff that I've learned in my own journey of recovery.
Nate, so listening to Van talk, it sounds like a lot of crossover. You know, I mean, between law enforcement, veterans, you know, dark paths. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of crossover that you guys have been able to partner up, and you guys are able to offer this platform for them to voice this out.
I think for sure there's a lot of crossover. Some of the things you were saying about, you know, adrenaline and, you know, feeling certain ways and making sure your home is in place, and even somebody who's been arrested. You know, we deal with people. Law enforcement is the business of dealing with people, and some people are, you know, you see a lot of people on their worst day, and that doesn't necessarily take away the fact that they're people. And by being here to serve, sometimes service includes taking somebody to jail, but that also might mean that service is the starting point for their new beginning, or, you know, their path forward. And community is ultimately what it's all about. And so, yeah, I would say for sure there's a lot of overlap.
Well, thinking about the PTSD, you know, our veterans, the combat, they see, I mean, they see horrendous stuff, you know, and I'm sure law enforcement also sees those same things. So, you know, almost like the Operation Surf program, I mean, that could be a healing port for even officers. Currently, am I wrong?
Well, it's a goal of what I want to do, but, you know, so we actually have created some programs through my surf school, crafted experiences, and, you know, we're working with the Pat Tillman Foundation, because I believe what we have learned and what my wife and Amanda can provide is I know that, because when you put like-minded people together focused on certain entities of understanding, the ingredients that we've created in our curriculum will work with any population. It's just who you put together and how you present it, and most importantly with care, understanding of the authentic way is like, we're all broken, we all have things to deal with, and the most important thing is like to be in a safe enough place where you could actually say it where it doesn't affect them, because we all need it, you know. And, you know, it's just like, you know, PTSD, you know, I wish they would call it PTSE, is because post-traumatic experiences, we all have these experiences that create these memories. And the more we can talk about it and say, this is what I went through, this is what I did, and it caused this mindset, more importantly, this belief, which then continues the behavior. And when those behaviors get to the point where they cause problems, is we need to talk to somebody. And that is what the element of the process is create a platform where you can open and honest talk about vulnerability with like-minded people, and then after that have this ongoing service or connection with the community that they can continue to support each other. And once you support each other, it's just like our country is built on united we stand, divided we fall. And the more we do this stuff together is because I was in this place, of isolation because I was embarrassed of the thoughts and the mindset that I had, and I wouldn't tell anybody. And so that's how my life got really dark, and so we all deal with that stuff. And so I openly talk about this stuff with the program of surfing is because surfing and the ocean and Mother Nature have an amazing natural way to bring people down to reality, no matter who you are or who you think you are. Because I've done them all from all perspectives of the human race, from injuries, non-injuries, to, high level producing to, the people that didn't get a chance to produce, that we're trying to build that self-efficacy and self-esteem to continue on to just having the life that they have, and, finding a way to accept that that's just as valuable as the high functioning. And don't judge yourself by other people, judge yourself how you're feeling and what you're doing today,
Van, tell me the story about the gentleman that Operation Surf, going surfing was on his bucket list, and that was going to be his last point of experience, and he was going to go back home and take his own life.
It's funny how you say that, is because whenever we get into a hopeless state of mind, right? We just don't want to continue, and we actually have the suicide ideation as that the people around me are be better off without me. It's because when we continue to go and there's struggle after struggle after struggle, he was doing it alone, I think. And then once he came to us and experienced surfing, he was able to smile and have fun again. And more importantly, if I remember right, it was Bobby. He told me that, he was a Marine and he was unwilling to listen to a surfer because he's a Marine. But he finally realized, if I don't listen to this guy, I'm going to drown. You know what I mean? And so it went from I want to die to where I want to live. But then it gave him permission to want to listen to another person. And you never know what experience in your life might just trigger the one thing, which was listen to others. And once he was able to listen to others and have a little humility, like, I need to take some direction to get through this stuff. And then after that, he experienced joy again.
And that was able to change that path that
now
he was
he's
going
married and, he's got a kid. I mean, it's just so much after, from one experience, But it's relationships because, he's created relationships that are ongoing. And then when you create a relationships, it gives you purpose for tomorrow. And so when you have that hopeless state of mind, like, it's just difficult. And that's one of the hardest things about life. And, and that's why I think it's really important for us to be active and do things. And that's why, these bull riders, you know what I mean? I have a few friends that are bull riders, and they're trying to get me to ride a bull, and I'm no, thank you.
It's just a bigger wave
that wants to turn around and stick you, wait a minute, and stomp you, you know what I mean? It's like when the wave comes, it just goes, and you just deal with it. It doesn't turn around, seemingly, and want to smash you or gouge you with their horns,
What's funny is I went to Hawaii in the wintertime a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And we went to the North Shore of Oahu, and they had a big wave contest going on, and I'm like, no way would I do that.
Yeah.
So Nate, you've never surfed?
Massive respect. No, I sink.
So you
no,
not completely.
I'm not the greatest swimmer.
So you're not going to stable up the horse and take up the board.
No, I think we'll stick with horses.
And that's okay, because the end all isn't all of what everyone does. It's just something that will progress you to continue to find what works for you. And when you can develop a community and people that understand, that is truly what it's all about. And what the rodeo does and what its mission is to continue to help other people find their path. It's giving us an opportunity, and that's why partnerships are so important.
What does it mean for you to partner with the Sheriff Rodeo on this?
Well, for me personally, is to go from what I used to, how I used to look at law enforcement, because I was doing things I shouldn't be doing, and so I looked at them a different way. Now that I'm living a life that's primarily, I speed every once in a while, so
Don't say that out loud.
well, I'm a human being, so the reality of being truthful is one of the most important things. And so, as I live a life today that I'm not living the criminal life, is I no longer fear the law enforcement like I used to. They still make me nervous when I see them in my rearview mirrors. But the reality is my life's different today, and I've chosen to live a life, and so working with, law enforcement is a full circle thing for Van, and that's kind of the hope thing is you can get through things as long as you're willing to put in the work.
Nate, what Van just said kind of gave me a thought process. Does that trigger a lot of like emotions when somebody sees, like if you're behind them, you're not looking at them in any way, shape, or anything, but it triggers their emotion as a fear because you are behind them?
Well, I think that's to some extent natural, because I don't care if you're a little kid, doing something, or a full grown up, driving a few miles over the speed limit. Human nature, sometimes, you're worried about getting caught what you're doing. One of the reasons we wanted to build this rodeo, like I said previously, to bring the community together, is so that if a deputy sheriff is behind you, ultimately we have a job to do, and sometimes that means holding people accountable for breaking the law.
And you need to.
And that gives stability to our society, and it allows us to enjoy the freedoms that we have, because by maintaining those freedoms, we have to hold those accountable who break the law. So that's my job, and that's my calling, and sheriff's deputies and police officers accept that calling. But ultimately, we're also people. And we're normal people. When I am not at work wearing a uniform, you'll see me dressed like this, or maybe without some of the sponsor logos, to be able to talk to somebody else from the community just as community members. And, I would be interested to learn more about big wave surfing because it looked really cool. It's just not for me, right? We're just community members, and that's what we want people to see those sheriff's deputies at. That's why we want to bring the community together for the rodeo. It is another common denominator, just a neutral ground, so to speak, where we can just be community members together. And if our job leads us to hold people accountable come Monday morning, then so be it. But ultimately, the person wearing that badge, the man or the woman in that uniform, is also a person, and they can do their job with a respect, and we do our job with a respect and an appreciation for the fact that those people we're engaged with are also community members and people. We're just doing our job.
Well, I think the San Luis Obispo Sheriff Department, led by Sheriff Ian Parkinson, does a great job at that and portraying that you guys are community there, and people as well. So you guys do a great job keeping our community safe. So thank you.
But I do want to say one thing is like, when I got in trouble, I deserved it, because my actions and what I was doing was not right. And that is the reason why when we get near the police, when we're doing something wrong, the fear emotion comes in, because you think you're going to get caught. And so sometimes when you're not even doing something wrong, you're like, what did I do? It's this real check. But what I really want to say is, it's like, it's not your fault that I got arrested. It's my fault.
Accountability.
Yes, the accountability of my actions is what put me in this situation to where I was in handcuffs. And ultimately, those last pair of handcuffs saved my life and saved thousands of other people's lives, because that put me on a trajectory to be a man of service with a service heart, so.
Van, tell me about your programs. I know you have a 6-week program. You have some different programs for these veterans to be a part of, to kind of help to transition a little bit.
Well, I'll talk about we have a 3-month program, which is local veterans. You don't have to be wounded. You just need to live within your ability to want to drive to the coastline 2 days a week. So they serve 2 days a week. We provide all the equipment. We teach them all about the education of surfing, not only just the surfboards, the wetsuits, it's surfing locations, combination of the winds, swells, the ocean floors, what's a good place to be, what's a bad place to be, and then they start doing it on their own. And then we also have a component where the past veterans that went through our programs before come back and help the new people. So it's a full circle thing about coming back and helping the other people, because once you build that community, you want to keep people active in it. And so one of the best things to do is just come back and help the next person. So, and at the end of that, they get the chance to make calls of where they're going to go surf, and then they get a surfboard and a wetsuit to continue it, you know. And then we have a week long program that is an application process for all combat wounded military members that they can apply for, and it's a 6-day program where they come out and we house them, feed them, take them surfing. They go through our curriculum, and those are for the whole nation, can apply for that. And then we have programs for active duty special operation forces and their spouses. And so we work we work with the full gamut of it, and it comes from, you know, a surfer, you know, that has life experience, but the experience I have is to battle with my pride and ego. And the ability to communicate and to be open and honest is what we really do. And building connection, not only with yourself, but with others and nature.
So what's the future look like for Operation Surf?
Well, it really depends on our support. So, like, you know, the outcomes that we have, they've been amazing. You know, if you really look at all the testimonies, we've saved multiple people's lives from wanting to commit suicide to improving marriages and giving people hope to get through their challenges. And so it's really the future. I'm a nonprofit, and so it's about resources and it's finances. And because the one thing is that he was talking about the improvements of the rodeo is the more I serve a population, the more is unfolded of what is needed. And that need is ongoing. But what I could actually do is I'm only doing what I can do, what exists today. But there's so much more needed. And we have the ability to do it, but we have to build our team, and we have to build the resources to be able to provide the services at the level that is effective, not to compromise our level by doing too much and keeping things at the highest level.
We talk to a lot of the veterans, you know, through Honor Flight Central Coast or through our, you know, veteran services. Mm-hmm. Do you find that a lot of these veterans that come to your program, like, they have to really, like, you have to really push them to come because they feel, like you say, maybe embarrassed, or like they don't need it, or they'll deal with things on their own? Do you find that you need to have that little bit of a helping hand?
Well, one of the things around our local program is we found out that one of the biggest things that they miss is their teams that they were connected to in the military. And once they retire, they all go different directions, and they no longer have that team around them. So no matter what they did, is when they look to the right or the left, they know that someone's next to them that's going to support them. That is one of the biggest things that got our 3-month-long program, is to try to recreate that team, to build that community, so they have that understanding person next to them that gets them. And so, do they need a push? I would say individually, yes. A lot of our participants applied because their wife applied for them and said, "You're going to this." A lot of people were put in a situation because a lot of people say, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, this sounds really great, but let somebody else that really needs this.
I hear it all the
have
time.
That. Okay.
For the veterans.
When I hear that, I have learned those are the people that probably need it the most, because they're not willing, because it's really hard for me. Is one of the biggest things that I had to learn was to receive help. I had to learn to choose to allow someone to help me, because I felt like a loser, or I was failing if I needed somebody else's help. You know, it's because my pride and ego, once again, is like I had been on my own since, you know, I was a teenager. And so I should be able to do this. I've survived. But what I was doing was actually creating the problem. I didn't even know it. And so when I was encouraged by the law to move forward, it's kind of the same thing we do with our program, is we try to create a program that is really encouraged by another past participant, which is another veteran of the U.S. military, to encourage them. And once they come in and I guess, surrender the fact of why I shouldn't and just go do it, then they realize like, oh, I should do this. And then once they get involved in it, they go, I'm glad I did this. And so probably across the board, people need a nudge. Not very many people. That's why I say I dangle the carrot of surfing, is because people want to go to surf, even though it's not for everyone. It's like, I'll go try it, and, but that commitment for 3 months is a long time to someone. But a commitment that can change the trajectory of your life and build a community around yourself, 3 months is nothing.
I mean, because you probably have some veterans that's never even seen the ocean. I shouldn't say seen or been in the ocean. They're born up in the Midwest and.
Yeah. Well, we have people that haven't been able to swim. We've had people missing all limbs. We've had people that have all the combinations of amputees, from triple amputees to double amputees, arms, legs, double amputees from the knees down, from one below the knee, one above. I mean, I've had every combination: spinal cord, blind, deaf.
I saw that one with the blind. He was blind and he
that was
out
Gordy.
there surfing.
Yeah, he can see a little bit. It's like looking out of a straw. He's told me, and so he can see a little bit, and so, but we've had 100% blind. I don't know if you've seen the one piece that was done. He tried to commit suicide and shot himself in the head, and he didn't die, but he lost all of his sight. We took him out, but it's about trusting another human being. When you're in a situation like that, more importantly, can I embrace life the way it is and to continue to live instead of have a pity party and like, woe is me? Is because that's what, it's that encouragement to continue to live is what the support of our communities need to be doing,
And you have some interesting statistics on PTSD, the ocean, and being a part of this program with Operation Surf. Can you share us with that?
Yeah. Well, we've had a couple different studies done on us, so we're a little bit different than other programs. We've actually had medical studies done on us, and one of them produced 36% decrease in PTSD, 47% decrease in depression, and 68% increase of self-efficacy. And so we've had, depression, REM sleep, like, getting better sleep. Because when your body rests at night, when your mind rests at night, your body heals. And so as you're always going and when you get good sleep, it's really a huge part of our journeys in high stressful situations.
1,000%
is about our sleep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we have the data, we have the proof, we have the statements, we just need to build more relationships that are, that we can build a connection that are willing to support our mission.
Well, you got the Sheriff Rodeo coming up, which you guys are going to be out there loud and proud to build that support.
We will have a couple of our veterans there that you can speak to if you choose to want to come and learn more. And, we're just stoked to have the opportunity. We're blessed, we're honored, and we're grateful. So thank you for having us.
Awesome.
Our pleasure, and thank you. I mean, as the proud father of a active duty Army soldier, my daughter's missed a couple rodeos from deployments overseas. She'll be here this year, but thank you for what you do, knowing that those kind of that support net, that safety net is there, for our soldiers, sailors, and Marines is awesome. So we're happy and proud to have you.
Well, I appreciate it very much, and stoked to be sitting next to you.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, on that note, thank you both for being a part of What's Up North County. Van, thanks for coming in and sharing the story with Operation Serve. People can go to your website, go check you out. The Sheriff Rodeo coming up. Are you going to be out there all 3 days?
I'm going to be there.
Awesome.
Yeah. And we have a documentary on on Netflix too called Resurface. And so if you guys can check out some of the effects, visually if you're a visual person. And so we got some interesting stuff out there. So
I did find some, like I said, some interesting videos, and short documentaries on YouTube about, even dating back 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting to watch and learn. And, it's these kind of programs that, like, the SLO Sheriff's Rodeo is able to introduce people to that wouldn't otherwise know about this local program, which was started right here on the Central Coast, right?
Yep.
Right here.
Right here.
And everybody comes here, goes surfing, and this program is built here every single day.
Our headquarters are in Avila Beach, our little hub of beauty right there. So that's where I learned to surf 53 years ago, right there in Avila.
Awesome.
So.
Well, Van, thanks for coming on and sharing the story. I really appreciate it, man.
Oh, man, it's an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully we can help to spread the word just a little bit more, one at a time.
Yeah, you are.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And Nate, thank you. Thank you
pleasure.
thanks for coming in and sharing a little bit about the Sheriff Rodeo and what's coming up. Anything new that you can't share with us, but you really want to?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. There are things that are new that are going to be bigger and better than any previous year. So
What is it?
don't miss it. I can't share it.
Oh,
That would ruin it. That
that's
ruins
what
the
the
That's
hook
just-
is. That means
that's-
you got to come to
there's
see
the
it.
carrot.
You got to come to see it.
there's
I like
the
it.
carrot. Awesome. So Marketplace starts on Thursday.
Yep.
What time does that start?
10 a.m. Thursday.
10 a.m.
Yep.
So all day Thursday till 5-ish?
Till 6 o'clock
6
Thursday
o'clock?
night. Yep.
And then
qualifiers are free to watch Thursday as well
Okay.
in the arenas on grounds. And then the big nights are Friday and Saturday for bull riding and concerts Friday, and the rodeo finals in concert on Saturday.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to it. Can't wait.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very
Man,
much.
appreciate
It's an honor
it.
to meet you, man.
Good
Thank
talking to you.
We
Yes.
appreciate, great story, great program, both programs. Congratulations on both you. The new Sheriff's Foundation program.
Thank you.
So congratulations on that as well. You guys are both doing great, things for our military, law enforcement, and our veterans and everybody in our community. So thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Well, there you have it, guys. Hey, make sure Mother's Day weekend, get out there to the Paso Robles Event Center. You got the SLO Sheriff's Rodeo Marketplace kicking off on Thursday. Bulls on Friday, Casey Donahue and Casey Anglin. And then Saturday, you got the finals right there at the Paso Robles Event Center. This is one of the best rodeos in the country, in my opinion. So you guys do not want to miss this. But as always, guys, we can't do this without you and our sponsors. We'd like to thank Escalar Wine Travelers Hideaway. Visit Atascadero 805 Customs, MGP Coatings, 1776 Roofing and Gutters, Premier Ag, Trailer Barn, Story Termite Pest Control, Borho Auto Center, Kennedy Club Fitness, Angela Hickson Port Photography, Airflow Filter Services, Templeton Heating and Air, and of course, Atascadero Chamber. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you at the rodeo.
Your home is your castle. It keeps you safe when the weather's rough. But if you're not taking care of your roof, things could get a little wild. 1776 Roofing with Roof Max will fix up the rough spots, treat the shingles, and give it years more life at a fraction of what a new roof costs. At TLC, your roof needs now. Call 805-900-1776.
When it comes to comfort, trust the team that's been keeping the North County homes cozy since 1995. At Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning, they're your hometown pros right here in Templeton. From tune-ups to repairs, remodels to new construction, even duct replacements and attic ventilation, they got you covered. Call your neighbors at 805-434-3741. Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning. Local, trusted, dependable.
Hi, I'm Glenn McWilliams.
And I'm Annie. As sixth-generation farmers, we understand what it takes to keep a ranch, a farm, and a community growing strong.
And that's why we started Premier Ag to bring quality feed, trusted Western wear, and real service to the Central Coast.
From hay delivery across the county to hands-on support for local youth and ag programs, we're proud to give back to the community that raised us.
And when we say from seed to stable, we mean it. We've walked the fields, we've fed the animals, and now we're here to serve families just like yours.
Come visit us at 1041 Paso Robles Street in Paso Robles and experience the difference of a store built by farmers for farmers.
From seed to store, where quality meets country.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Looking for a top quality concrete coating in SLO County? Hi, I'm Matt Gifford with MGP Coatings, your trusted local expert in durable, long-lasting concrete coatings backed by Pentec's limited lifetime warranty. Whether it's residential or commercial, we deliver expert craftsmanship, premium products, and unbeatable customer service. When we say we make concrete great again, we mean it. As a locally owned, community-driven company, we take pride in transforming garages, patios, pool decks, wineries, and even interior spaces into stunning, functional areas. Are you ready to upgrade your space? Give us a call at 805-952-5301. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or visit mattgiffordpainting.com. Join the MGP Coating family today.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We are all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.